everyone, welcome back to Trees and Turtles. My name's Imogen, and in today's video we are dealing with fear of failure and actual failure. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that, give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and let's get started, okay? So failure is something that everyone experiences, and everyone hates it. Like, nobody likes failing, okay? And being a productivity channel, it seems counterintuitive that I would talk about failure, because I'm always talking about how to succeed and how to achieve your goals. So why are we talking about failure? And the reason we're talking about failure is because failure is integral to success, okay? So number one, I want you to change your perspective, okay? So view failures as opportunities for growth and for learning, rather than as a measure of your worth. Understand that failure is a natural part of any learning process. If you don't fail, you can't learn. Also, I do want to share with you a quote: fail early and fail often. Now, this was said by John C. Maxwell, okay? And basically what it means is that you should strive to front load your failures, if that makes sense. So try as many things at the start of a goal as you can, okay? And if you're failing, that's good, because you're giving yourself permission to learn from those failures, and you're giving yourself permission to fail on an ongoing basis and to learn from those failures again. So what he's saying is that failure is not a bad thing, but refusing to allow yourself to fail is a bad thing, okay? So if you're too scared of failure to even start, you're not going to make any progress. So fail early and fail often. Right, number two, set realistic goals, okay? So break down your goals into smaller and more manageable tasks and celebrate small successes along the way to build your confidence, okay? So if you're failing a lot, like more than the average, maybe you're just not breaking your goals down far enough, and you need to be a little bit more realistic with your goals. Now, that being said, I do also advocate that you're super ambitious, so it's about finding a balance, but breaking down your goals. Now, you could have a super ambitious goal, but if you break it down into more steps, then the chances of failure at each step are probably reduced, because you're taking it at your own pace and you're figuring things out as you go. Also, focus on the process and not just the outcome. So concentrate on the effort and the work you put into a task rather than worrying solely about the end result. Okay, so recognize that learning and improvement are valuable in themselves. Like, maybe you don't ultimately achieve the goal, but what did you learn along the way? Okay, so what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about the task? Okay, those things are not nothing. Those things have actively contributed to your development as a person, so even if you just go through the process and you don't end up with the outcome, you still got something out of that experience, at least if you have a positive and growth-oriented mindset about it. Also, accept imperfection. So understand that nobody is perfect, and this is as true for other people as it is for you. A lot of the time, I think we compare ourselves to people and we think they're perfect, but what we don't see is their big failures in life, because a lot of the time people make efforts to hide their failures, because obviously, like, everyone hides their failures, right? But I try not to do that because I like a policy of transparency on this channel, but honestly, everybody is imperfect, and it's a humbling fact, but also it's a reassuring fact, because mistakes are a normal part of being human. So allow yourself to make errors and then use them as opportunities to improve. The difference between someone who succeeds and someone who fails is that both of them have failures, right? Both of them have failures, but the person who fails ultimately has not learned from their original failures. The person who succeeds has learned, has picked themselves up, and has tried again, okay? So accept imperfection in yourself and other people. I mentioned a growth mindset earlier in the video, but I did want to bring you back to it. So develop a growth mindset. Embrace the belief that abilities and intelligence can be developed through dedication and hard work, okay? Maybe your baseline intelligence is fixed, but you can learn stuff, okay? You can improve your skills, all right? So really, your development as a person is absolutely not fixed, so avoid a fixed mindset that sees abilities as innate and unchangeable, okay? If abilities were actually innate and unchangeable, why would we go to school? Why would we go to university? Why would we invest in our professional development? Because it's not true. They aren't unchangeable. We can change stuff about ourselves all the time. We can learn, we can grow, okay? So we are dynamic creatures, okay? Humans are dynamic creatures, and your brain can change, okay? So invest into changing your brain. Visualize success, all right? So imagine yourself succeeding and visualize the positive outcomes. Even if you have failed, know what this experience has taught you, and then visualize yourself using those experiences and that knowledge that you've gained to ultimately succeed. Positive visualization can really help reduce your anxiety and boost your confidence, because firstly, you failed. Secondly, you now have more information about the goal. And thirdly, you can you're now in actually a better position to succeed next time you try because you know more, all right? Also, I want you to seek support. So share your fears and concerns with like friends, family, a mentor, a supervisor, anything, okay? Surround yourself with a supportive network that encourages and uplifts you. Now, I'm like, one of the big tasks of my early 20s is building my network. And this could be friends, you know, it could be in the dating sphere, it could be at work, okay? But building my network is actually really important for me at this point, and finding people who are really supportive of me and just gonna contribute really well in a kind of tight friend group, okay? So building your network and finding a support system is really crucial. Also, I want you to take small steps, okay? So gradually bring challenges into your life and build up your tolerance for risk. Take little steps outside of your comfort zone. Stretch it a little bit more every day or every week, okay? And start with smaller, less intimidating tasks before tackling your larger goals. Or do a smaller portion of a larger intimidating task in a way that makes it feel less intimidating. And you're like, well, if I fail at this small task, it doesn't really matter, because firstly, I learned something, and secondly, it's such a small part of the overall picture that why would I worry, you know? Also, I want you to celebrate your achievements, so acknowledge and celebrate your successes, no matter how small, because every success that you have is tangible proof that you are not a failure and that you can do stuff and you can achieve your goals, okay? So celebrate your achievements. They are proof that you are doing great. Also, rewarding yourself reinforces positive behaviour and boosts your confidence. So there's that. Also, this is kind of a darker point, but I really did want to emphasise it. Understand the cost of inaction, okay? Reflect on the potential missed opportunities and personal growth if you let fear hold you back. Now, this is something really sad, and I hear about it all the time, and that's people who are like getting towards the end of their lives, or they're getting towards the end of a period of time when they had an opportunity and they didn't make the most of that opportunity because they were too afraid to start, and now they massively regret it and they can't do anything to get that time back, okay? So understand the cost of not acting. All right, recognize that not taking action can be more detrimental in the long run, because doing nothing is also a decision, and you're making the decision not to try when you're not actively trying, okay? So reflect on the cost of inaction and whether that's actually higher than the cost of doing something and failing. Also, after that, I did want to remind you to challenge your negative thoughts. So identify and challenge your negative thoughts associated with failure. If you're always telling yourself, oh, I can't do this, or I'm terrible at this, I suck, I'm stupid, okay? All of those things are going to be reinforcing that negative self-talk in your brain. Your brain's gonna be like, oh no, shit, maybe we are stupid, you know? But if you're telling yourself, I'm smart, I am capable, I can do this, then you're gonna be much more motivated, you're gonna be in a more positive mindset, okay? So replace negative self-talk with more positive and constructive affirmations. You can even reflect on your achievements. Be like, no, brain, look, we're not stupid, we did this, we did this, we did this, okay? So challenge your negative thoughts when they arise, and therapy can also be really helpful for this. I personally experienced a lot of like challenging negative thoughts in therapy, and it's so helpful. Also, finally, learn to be okay with whatever outcome happens, okay? Chances are failure is never fatal. Now, our fear of failure is very deep-rooted because, in part, failure used to be fatal, okay? So, for example, if you weren't liked by the group in ancient times, then you might have been cast out of the tribe, and maybe you couldn't survive on your own, or maybe you couldn't reproduce, okay? Maybe you couldn't have food. So failure in those times, it really was life-threatening. But I promise, if you fail to hit your personal best when you go running today, that's not going to be fatal, okay? You're still going to go home, you're going to have food, a roof over your head, probably friends that really love you, okay? So failure is almost never fatal, all right? Learn to be okay with whatever outcome happens. You can learn from it. There will be more time. You can try again. Alright, those are all the tips that I have for dealing with fear of failure and failure itself. If you're not already subscribed, make sure to do that. Give this video a thumbs up, follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, bye!